What's going on, Cats fans? It's been a tough night for the Geelong Football Club at Marvel Stadium. Welcome to PostGame Live. After the Cats go down by 7 points to the St.Kilda Football Club. The very impressive, I should say, St.Kilda Football Club this evening. St Kilda, 15 goals, 8 to Geelong, 13 goals, 13. As I said, 7 points to the Saints tonight. They were up by 41 points at one stage there, I think in the second quarter, and you knew it was coming. You knew it was going to happen at some stage. The Cats would somehow find a way to fight their way back into this game. And you also probably had that feeling deep in the pit of your gut that it probably wasn't going to be enough, and we'd just fall short. And well, that's how I felt anyway. Maybe you thought we'd run over the top of them and win by 120, but I didn't think that. I felt like this one was over pretty early in the game, and I just wanted to see something from the Cats. It took me by surprise, I must admit. It did take me by surprise. The loss, especially after last week, after trouncing Fremantle at home, but maybe the hot weather took it out of us a little bit. We looked very, very flat. We looked like we were disinterested. We didn't have a whole lot of passion. I don't want to be too hard on the players, especially the young players, because I thought they stood up really well tonight. And it's not all crosses from me. There's plenty of ticks. There'll be definitely plenty of ticks from the game. A couple of young players stood up, and I'll save my thoughts for the show when we've got some guests on. I'll add my 2 cents worth in. But I will say one thing. I will single out one player, and it's a senior player. Goodness me, Dangerfield has a heart, doesn't he? He has a massive heart, and the way, the effort he put in that second half when Chris got through him into the guts, we only got back into that game because of Patrick Dangerfield. A lot of young players did really well. I said I wasn't going to shout out a couple. I'll save it, but I want to shout out one more player, Ted Closey's best game for the Geelong Football Club. All right. We do have a few people in the chat already. I'm counting about 5 people. I got Ben, I got Curie, I got Lucas. He's coming off a long run. Don't worry about that. If you thought he's grumpy after a win, wait till you see him after a loss. I've got Chris as well in the chat, and Ethan all the way from America. Now, if you do want to jump in and have your say, where is the little thing here? What's that one? Is that the one? Yep. Shannon Pizza is giving away a free pizza tonight. The good fellow Anthony there he is with a big pizza from Shannon Pizza. He's giving away a free large pizza to the best caller, as judged by me. If you happen to win the best caller or best comment and you're not in Geelong, or you can't see yourself getting in Geelong, or you don't know anyone in Geelong, you are welcome to hand it over to someone else. Now, I did give it to Lucas last week, and then he handballed it on over the top of Joe the Goose to Bianca and Declan Vella. So that was very nice of you, Lucas, to do that, and they really enjoyed it. So, all right, without further ado, I'm going to get on our first guest. It's his 3rd time on the show. His name is Ben Harris. Here he is. Welcome, Ben.
Hello, Ben. Oh, no, it's now 4 in a row. We've lost against them at Marvel.
It is. Talk me through it.
It's the same way we lose every time. They're all open. The backline was actually all right, I thought, but just every time their players are just open. It's the same way we lose to them.
Every time.
Like, just scrap kicks out, and there's just 4 players standing there by themselves with no pressure, and they just run it down.
It's the 4th time in a row at Marvel against the Saints. Same old.
Mm.
What are we going to do?
I don't know.
Are St Kilda a good football club, or are we a middling football club, or is it just the venue?
It just must be the venue at this point. It's out of control. I know that you're not going to play St Kilda like a few times a year at Marvel. It'll be like once, and if you play them in a final, it won't be there. But is it a problem?
I don't know. Are we playing the Saints again later in the year?
Yeah, in Geelong, yeah.
Yeah, and even though we've beaten them 3 times in a row, yeah. I think from memory, at least in Geelong, should get them again. You'd think.
Yeah.
But it's a hard one. It's a coin flip, these games, isn't it?
Yeah, it's.
So where did it all go wrong, do you think?
Just the start, pretty much. From like they kicked 6 in the first, and it felt like a very 2023 game with a fake comeback, just getting close, but not quite there.
Well, hopefully we'll make the grand final again. We did in 2020, but we've seen this with Geelong a few times, haven't it? It's like you let them get out to a massive lead, and then you fight back, and more often than not you lose them. Occasionally you might get over the top at the end, but we had a really young side tonight, didn't we?
I know. Is the club being truthful to us about Bailey Smith? Like,
I don't know.
is he actually like fit? Like, I don't know. I don't think we might not even see him for a while, and they'll just name him every week, and he'll just be out.
Yeah. Simon Ham says the surface. We should be looking into this. I didn't think it was that bad, Simon. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, probably not. Humphries
it was
did
all right.
slip over at one point, which probably cost us a goal.
Okay. Is Bailey Smith going to be okay? Look, I've heard different reports. I've said, 1 week. I've heard 3 weeks. But we know it's the Geelong Football Club, and that can turn into a lot more sometimes. It's a bit doom and gloom at the moment, isn't it? But
it's
anyway.
like Dangerfield with that hit before, like that could be out. So potentially, we play Brisbane at the Gabba next week, and St Kilda play Richmond at Marvel. They're going to jump us now. After last week, they're going to beat Richmond. We're not going to beat Brisbane, and they'll be ahead of us. We just got to get these opportunities.
Amy's saying that James Kelly's was explaining that Bailey's just a bit sore and should be back for next week. Maybe a bit of lack of respect for the Saints. Maybe, I don't know. It is only round 2, and maybe you don't take risks too early.
I don't know if this player would have, but Sean Manor, where was he? I don't know why he's not playing. I remember Chris Scott said last year in an interview we should have just kept Sean going and played him every game instead of that period where he wasn't playing. And he's fit, and he's not playing tonight.
Playing the VFL tomorrow against Sandringham up in wherever that is, Sandringham. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What's the oval? I'm not even sure what the oval. Someone in the chat will know.
Yeah. The Trevor Barker oval, I think.
Trevor Barker oval. There you go. Bit too far for me to travel on a Sunday. I would love to see some of the VFL guys. There's a lot of injuries at the moment, mostly to the first-year players in the VFL, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah. Who's our captain next week? Stewart, and I don't think Dangerfield will be there.
Sorry, you don't think Danger will be there?
I think he did a hit with his elbow.
Oh, really?
And
Oh, I didn't see that one. We miss Tom Hawkins as well, Connor. We miss him a lot. Shannon Neal, what a goal from 55. Let me just say off the top, what a goal from 55 to really give the Cats a sniff. But a couple of beach balls came his way today, and he absolutely, I don't know, he fluffed them. I don't know what he was doing. I reckon maybe we need to give him a pair of contact lenses or something. He just cannot seem to clunk the ball. But then he'll have a game soon. It'll be a few weeks away, and he'll bob up and kick 6. You know it's coming. It's just he's going to be frustrating to watch this year. It's a frustrating watch on Shannon Neal, but I miss Tom Hawkins too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think our forward line really got anything going tonight. It's not like the entries in there were bad. It came out so quick, and when they kick it out, there were just players open everywhere who would just grab it.
What do you reckon? Royce is saying Manor, if he plays tonight, we probably wouldn't have played Closey, and I agree. Probably Closey might not have had a look, but how good? Did you like Closey's game tonight, or Closey?
I did. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but it is good. Sorry. Like to get games into a young player like Closey, but And Manners, because Manners not going to be around forever. He's 27. So, but yeah, like you still got to get him in somehow.
Maybe Claire's onto something here. Claire, are you from Spotswood, by the way, or are you just Claire Spotswood? Claire thinks Marvel Stadium's haunted. So what have we done at Marvel Stadium apart from beating Richmond by 157 points? Clearly, St Kilda's got nothing to do with that, but maybe there are some ghosts that are haunting the Geelong Football Club, and we just can't win. Yeah. I don't know. We've never been great there. Claire, you're onto something. You could be onto something.
We play North Melbourne there later in the year, so and that's the game North Melbourne are celebrating their 100 years in the league, so it'll be a rough one that night.
What happens to Tom Stewart? Is he done?
It didn't look good. I mean that's.
Was someone in the chat
found another. Sorry.
Someone in the chat was saying PCL. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that 6 weeks? 12 weeks? I don't know. I'm concerned about that one. I'm concerned about that. Let's try and find some positives. Who did you like, though? Tell me who you liked tonight. I'd love to know. I'd love to not be all too doom and gloom.
O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
Connor O. I thought he was great in defence tonight. And he took the game on as well, which I liked a lot. Who else did I like? Probably Jack Henry again. Wait, he was really good. Just getting the ball moving.
Yeah, great. He was so resolute down back, wasn't he? All game.
Tom Atkins as well. Maybe Atkins. Like I just thought the way he got through the contest and tried to push forward was great. 11
tackles for Tom Atkins tonight, and 20 touches. He ticked over 20 touches there. That's pretty good. Mostly handballs, but that's the in and under style of player that he is. So he was good. Can I ask you about? This is another one that's going to frustrate Cats fans over the next 12 months, 6 months, I guess, over the course of a 40 season. Thoughts on Sam DeConning tonight?
I don't think he was great compared to last week because he was up against Marshall. Marshall didn't play in the ruck last week. He was playing forward, and that other St Kilda ruck who they got played in ruck and didn't do anything, and now Marshall came back and he dominated. So the other bloke who they recruited him may as well just pack his bags. I don't think he's getting back.
Exactly. Were you? I don't know how old you are, but you may know this anyway if you've read any of the Geelong books. There was a thing in 2007 called the Spirit, and even Tom Harley said it on the Premiership dais. He said and played with Spirit. I think it was a little thing that I don't know. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I thought they all put in their hopes and dreams or something like that, or their wildest imaginations or something like that. They put it in a box or a little thing, and they called it the Spirit. And that all through the year. I can't remember exactly. I've probably got that all wrong, but yeah, we probably need to find something. We'll bring back Max Rook. I think he initiated that one. We need to find something because
we may as well do the 360-degree feedback this week as well.
How are you with the 360-degree feedback? Can you cop it on the chin? Are you good like that?
I've never done it or anything, but I don't know. It could be like it depends what it is. Like you could do it as like a piss take or something. It could be a bit funny, but. Yeah, all serious. I don't know. We'll see. We'd have to see.
I've been copying a bit of feedback all week, Ben, in the my footy tipping video because clearly I'm a Geelong supporter, as are you, and I don't like the Hawthorn Football Club, and I didn't pick them. Third week in a row, I didn't pick the Hawks to win, and that's not because I don't like them, but I didn't see enough form yet. I still haven't probably seen enough form, but I can't deny 3-0. Even though they haven't really played anyone that's won and done anything. But I did pick St Kilda tonight to win.
I gotta be honest, on my tipping website, I did the same.
Yep.
It's always to get the tip correct, but yeah, the expensive lot.
If there's any Saints fans in the chat, if you want to jump on, we'll happily have a chat, and we'll be and as long as you don't, well, you can give us a little bit of shit.
Is Jake coming on?
Who? Sorry,
Jake.
I've extended the invitation. I've extended them and the Red, Black, and White crew as well. There's another podcast, Red, Black, and White. So the good people there. So we might hear from them possibly. Like they're probably celebrating. They're probably 10 beers deep at this point in time, so we don't really know if they'll have the time. But yeah, if you are a Saints fan out there, clearly we'll get the Cats fans on, and we've got a few calls to get through, and we'll get to you shortly. But yeah, click the hashtag there, or I don't think you can click it. do what you do with hashtags. If you're on a phone, use someone else's phone, and it'll take you to where you need to go. And if it doesn't, give me shit in the chat for the link not working. That's fine. Mate, any other thoughts? Before you go, give me some more thoughts or anything else you want to have. But I do need to get a 3-2-1 from you from tonight.
3-2-1. All right. I haven't really checked the stats, to be honest. I checked the fantasy page that pops up in the AFL thing. I saw it. It's all red. Like I think the highest is Atkins, and he's about 20th on the list.
Serious?
Yeah. So I haven't even seen stats or anything. So just based off the game, 3 votes. Connor O'Sullivan, to be honest. I just thought, yeah, he did great. 2 votes, Jack Henry, and 1 vote to Tom Atkins. Yeah.
1 vote, Tommy Atkins. Interesting. I think I'm going to give my 3 to Paddy Dangerfield. I'll do my 3-2-1 while I've got you on the call. I'll give my 3 to Paddy Dangerfield. I think he turned the game in the second half. Who did I like? Jack Henry will probably get the 2 votes. It was coming down there a fair bit, but I don't always blame the defenders for all the goals that are piling up. I think often that starts in the midfield, but I thought he was pretty good. So maybe
I think
2
we
votes.
need to play Dangerfield from now on, just straight in midfield instead of forward. He's got the ability. I get if he wants to try and slow down, but we just need him in the contest now.
Yeah, my 1 vote. Could probably split it within a few players here, but I've given it to Lawson Humphrey B. Bear. He gets it for me, the 1 vote. Maybe a couple others. Maybe Connor O'Sullivan would have gone close. I probably just liked Connor O'Sullivan. It was probably one of his better games that he's played at the club. I don't know if he was, for me, probably not best on field. But Ted Closey is another one I'd want to have in there. But is it just because I was really happy with how he presented himself today? There's again another one that played his best game for the club. And Jai Clark. Some people might say Jai Clark played his best game for the club as well. He definitely butchered it sometimes as well, but he's starting to sort of take the next step. Yeah, definitely. Mate, all right, I've got a few calls to get through. I appreciate you coming on. Did you see your little thingo before? Had your little graphic?
I saw it. Yeah, it's great.
Watch party. We haven't done the watch party yet, people, but we've got Ben sort of queuing up, ready to go, itching at the bit to host a watch party for the gather round game, I'm assuming, unless you're going to that one. But we'll try and get ready for that if we can.
Yeah, so
probably not unless you want to kick it off next week at the Gabba. But let me know during the week.
They'll probably beat us by more than they beat West Coast tomorrow.
You might not want to make your debut at that one. You might want to make it against a neutral opponent. Well, it won't be. It'll be Adelaide, won't it? A gather round.
Yeah.
So you always want to hit the ground running after a big win and get everyone sort of pumping you up and telling you you're doing a great job.
Look, it's a long season and it's our second game and we've put in a shocker. All right, let's get back to training this week and we'll see what we can make out of the season, because now we're all flat and we're thinking that we're done. So
we're flat.
See what happens.
We're not good. Appreciate you coming on though, mate. It's always good when you front up after a loss.
Yeah.
You take care.
No worries. Thanks, Ben.
All right. Now, have I got him? Yes, I have. Now, Chris, I've got Chris on here. Now, I'll just build it up a bit, Chris. Now, I did have Chris in the green room last week, but I just took it's not partly my fault, but it's also partly the other guests that come on and we have a bit of chats. But I was chatting away and Chris couldn't wait that long. But I have got him ready to go tonight. And if you do want, as I said, if you do want to come on, you don't have to turn your camera on. You can just have the microphone on. It's like, just think of it like callback radio or talkback radio, whatever it's called. Here he is, Chris. Welcome to Postgame Live. Have I got you, Chris? You're in the stream with audio only. I'm going to put your little thing up, though. I haven't got a special one for you, but I've got a little debut thing somewhere for you.
All right, have you got me?
I've got you, mate. It looks like I'm debuting in the chat though, but show Chris some love in the chat.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Talk to me.
Quite lethargic, but showed a bit of faith in the end. I was impressed with a few of the young boys. Connor O'Sullivan. I thought he showed a lot of aerial presence. Quite similar to a bit of Blixarves with his length in the contest, and I think he can play wing potentially in the future. I also like Jai Clark. He's one of my favourites. So
Yeah.
I was very excited to see him get a good run of it. Dangerfield was immense late. Bit too late to the contest though. Felt like we needed him a lot earlier, especially when the Saints kicked 6 in the first quarter. What else do you reckon? Atkins?
Yeah, Atkins. It's just a typical Atkins game, really. Like we probably would have been speaking more highly of him if the Cats had a win, but you can't. It's really hard to not be down on most of the players after a loss. But we win this game. I guarantee you, we win this game by a kick, and everyone's a hero. Give everyone an acre of farmland outside Armstrong Creek. It's funny how it goes like that, isn't it? I guarantee you, like, we'll win another game this year. And a kick either side of that, everyone would be hating on every single player. You know, get rid of him, sack him, never again. Chris Scott, it's time to go. You've been in too long. But you win them. And as I said,
yeah, exactly right.
Free drinks all night long.
I mean, 11 tackles is huge, especially when there's not many other guys on the list that bring that sort of defensive pressure. And he's been our number one guy defensively in the midfield for a couple of years now. So it's nice to give him a bit of praise. I thought Jack Henry has had a really good start to the year. Intercept marks. He's got those sticky mitts, Jack Henry.
Yep.
I think he had about 10 or 11 intercept possessions, which is immense, especially when a guy like Tom Stewart goes down early, kind of throws the defense into a bit of a free-for-all, and he liked to settle the nerves a bit for the boys back there, and it was a bit shaky to start. I'm not too big of a fan of the zone defense, especially early on. I felt like if you're going to apply no pressure in the contest and play zone defense, you're going to get cut up pretty easily. And I think we had about 181 pressure gauge for half the game, I reckon. And then obviously late in the third quarter, we lifted to about 193. And then that carried over into the fourth quarter. And Saints looked out on their feet, and we just couldn't capitalize on it. So
how good were the Saints? How good? I'm going to give a. I hate losing, and the Saints piss me off. Even though we've caused them a lot of heartbreak. Sainers, if you're watching, don't forget 2009. I'm sure you haven't. I'm sure you never will. But yeah, we got you that year. But you played well tonight. Credit to you. Some of your young guys, some of your senior players as well, really stood up. Just terrific performance tonight from the Saints, and I hope they enjoy it. What are they, 1-1 after losing in Adelaide last week? Adelaide looks bloody good too, Chris. Gee whiz.
Yeah, their forward line's looking dangerous.
Looking amazing. What's that, Riley Philthorpe? Wasn't he a number 2 draft a couple of years back?
Similar type to Shannon Neal. Big boy. It's going to be a presence in their forward line for years to come. I thought Rowan Marshall was probably best on for the Saints tonight.
You could see it coming a mile away, couldn't you? You could.
That's the thing that's going to happen. Okay. And, we have to kind of allow ourselves to accept the fact that De Koning's not going to be the muscle type of ruckman, like your Cherry, your Marshall. He's not going to bulldoze a ruck. He's more ground level. He's going to use his athleticism to kind of outrun guys and play behind the footy, because he likes to get behind the stoppage, especially when we get the ball forward. Shannon Neal taking the ruck allows De Koning to kind of push back for that cheap entry kick, and it didn't work tonight, and it makes you wonder when Stanley's eventually going to come back into the side. Scotty spoke in the press conference earlier this week that he definitely sees De Koning and Stanley playing together, and whether that means Blixarves gets pushed back to a wing or O'Sullivan comes out of the side, we don't know, and we'll probably find out soon. But it's just going to take time. He's inexperienced in the ruck, and he doesn't really have the craft, but he'll develop it eventually.
I think you just got to stick with it. I mean, you've still got Reece Stanley sitting there in the wings, who will play probably tomorrow in the VFL. I think he's been named.
Hopefully.
But the other fella, the other two young fellas, Toby Conway, I think we know, probably needs to sit upright in bed because he's going to do an injury otherwise. Toby, I'm just having a laugh. I'd love you. But Mitch Edwards was the one that looked great in the preseason, but now he's injured as well. So it's Sam DeConning or Reece Stanley at this point. Yeah. Looked like you'd taken a step, Mitchy boy. But
it's going to be interesting where we go from here.
Where's Mitch Duncan?
Nevitt. Oh, Mitch Duncan.
Well, Mitch Nevitt's okay, but where's Mitch Duncan? What's happened to him?
He was an emergency. I think he played a half in the Pracky match last week. So I'd assume he's going to play VFL this week, and he could potentially come in for the Brisbane game. Looking like Stewart's not going to play. Bailey Smith, you touch and go, so I'd expect probably 3 to 4 changes.
Ooh, gee, you're harsh at the selection table.
I would get rid of Bose.
Yeah, he's not had a great start.
I'll give Bose a spell in the twos. I'd keep Closey in. I felt like Closey changed the forward dynamic when he came on. I felt like a lot of our half forwards weren't really present in the contest. Shying away, second to the footy, weren't really presenting higher up the field. So when Closey got on, positioning well, body contact was great, found himself in really good positions to score, and he kicked 2 goals, potentially could have kicked 3. But 16 disposals and 2 goals as a substitute, you'll take that every day of the week. And if Bailey Smith doesn't get hurt, he probably doesn't play. So, yeah, silver lining to everything, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've pinned a comment from Brendan, Bianca and Declan. Ted Closey looks so much like Joel Selwood. You know what? I was saying exactly the same thing to Mrs. Hoops tonight. I mean, he's not the same player. Don't get me wrong. He's not Joel Selwood. It's just the way he moves and his mannerisms and just his attitude towards the footy. For a young player that's played, 4 games maybe now? 5? Something like that anyway. Less than 10, let's say. Yeah. Loved it. So happy for him. And if anyone's going to get dropped, I don't think it'll be him. I think he may be sub next week. It depends on who comes back, but I don't think he'll get dropped. I think he's earned the right to play another week, and I'm just so happy for him.
What do you feel about O'Shane Mullen?
I was going to ask you. Pardon me. This was going to come up at some point tonight. Who was he on tonight for the most part? Bradley Hill.
Yeah, I think he had a bit of a run with role. I think Zach Jones copped a bit of attention late, but not too sure. It's a bit of a question mark here, because it's like, obviously football's not like natural to him, so like you have to play him to get the experience, but at like what cost, sort of thing. So it's like I definitely see him playing an important role at some point. I just don't know if it's right now, especially with like Buse having that 12-week injury. Mullen's kind of been shafted in that lockdown sort of run with role, similar to what Buse does on the small forwards.
Yeah.
But I don't really know who would come in for him, because he plays a specific role in a different position, and most people would probably bring in like a midfielder or a forward, but it's not really a like-for-like swap. So you're going to have to find someone that's going to play that role. O'Connor's probably the one that you'd give the nod to in that role. Playing with both, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you give them a job. You don't overcomplicate it. I think they're both. I mean, they're different body types and all that. Why they play the game a bit different. But yeah, you just give them a job and say, look, just do this. Don't overthink it. And I don't know. I can see O'Sheen possibly being a sub. I don't think the coaches are going to drop him. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be dropped. 2 games in, I'm going to be too hard on the young fella, but who's still learning a game, but I could see him on the in the sub possibly, especially against Brisbane. I can tell you who's not coming back next week, and I still haven't forgiven him for the prelim. Mitch Duncan, you're not welcome back against Brisbane. You're not coming back against Brisbane. If that happens, we all riot. Everyone in the chat, we all riot. Okay, meet me outside gate 3, whatever. What is it? What's the main gate? The Bobby Davis gate? I don't know. Whatever. We'll riot. We can't have it. I love you, Mitch. So I see. I give people shit, but I still will wrap my arms around them as well. I'm a bit of a weird nuffy cat supporter like that, but I can't forgive the handball.
He's a tough one, Mitch Duncan.
Oh,
It's just he's just dropped off significantly,
yeah.
and it's in a tough position because he's so close to 300 games, and it's tough to push out a grade, but we've done it before, and I felt like last season was the perfect opportunity for him to go out on his shield. Obviously, his best mates with Tom Hawkins, so I thought it would be sweet for him to go out with his best mate and retire together. And obviously, they have a role for him. I don't know what it is. They've been very coy about it. They don't like to talk about it much. They just think they have plans for him, and we'll have to wait and see what that is. I don't think he'll play much this year. Probably get him to 300, and then cotton wool, break glass if you need him, and then off to the sunset. See you later.
Who knows? We might be talking in September after he's played 20 games. Mitch Duncan. Maybe he'll play every game from this point onwards. All right, got a few people in the green room ready to come on. Let's get any final thoughts you've got, but your 3-2-1s from tonight.
3-2-1s. I'm going to go 3 for Lawson Humphreys. I thought he was our best.
That's fair. I'd agree with that.
2 for Dangerfield.
Yep.
And then I'm going to go 1 Jack Henry.
Jack Henry for the 1. Yeah, look, Jack's getting so much love tonight. I'm glad
he
a lot of
people.
It. Definitely. And he had a great last quarter, like great second half. Yeah, really, really helped tonight. It was massive, and it was really good last week too. So probably would be top 5 in the Kaji after 2. It's only 2 weeks, but he'd be going close. Mate, I don't know if you saw in the chat, but you were getting lots of love. So thanks everyone in the chat for showing a bit of love.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Do you know what we love? Do you know what we love on Postgame Live? We love a debutant. We love a debutant on Postgame Live. So if you haven't been on before, and maybe I have one in the chat. I don't know. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't been on before in the chat. Sorry, in the green room down below. I think I know a few people have, but anyway, if you want to jump on, there is the QR code on the screen. Chris, you are an absolute legend, and please come on again because I love chatting footy with you, mate.
Likewise. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy. Go Cats. All right. There is the QR code. As I said, quick shout out to the sponsor of the Hoops Crew Network, Cyril Cook Florist. If you have a loved one, would you just give flowers to a loved one? Would you give someone to an enemy? Probably not. But either way, you get 20% off for online purchases if you use our promo code GOCATS. So make sure you get in touch with Cyril Cook Florists. I think that's www.cyrilcookflorist.com.au. And as I said, use the promo code. And we thank them for sponsoring the Hoops Group. But as I said earlier, if we are giving away a free large pizza to the best caller or commenter, if you've got an absolute perler in the comments, I am looking for a bit of energy tonight in the chat and on the caller. So Lucas, he's disappeared from the green room. Hopefully he'll come back. Now, Kiri, I did say he'd be second on tonight, but I also did promise Chris that he'd be I'd bump him up the order. So apologies, Kiri. But I'll get Kiri on now. Welcome back to the show, Kiri. What did you think about that game?
Oh, good evening, Ben. To say that I'm flat as a tack is an understatement. It was just like a classic Geelong performance. When we're playing St. Kilda at Marvel Stadium, or like any other team we played like pre-2022, we make a comeback for the ages, but fall short because the game was lost at halftime. We've seen this story before, and I just don't know what to say, Ben. We all know what happened. Like, from the get go, the first 5 minutes, I thought, oh, this can't be happening again. We're getting killed inside and outside the ground, especially uncontested ball. Tom Stewart coming off. I thought, this can't get worse. This just simply can't get worse.
Well, we nearly lost Jezza to start with. Remember, he was
We
on the
nearly
boundary
lost
line.
Jezza to start with as well. I was watching it on the telly as well, and I was like, oh god, I hope it's not a calf or a hammy. But even Jezza was not performing tonight either as well. I thought it was probably one of his worst games in the hoops, if I'm being completely honest. For Chris Scott to put him in the back pocket, that's telling something. I know he was up on the wing at times, but I just don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's carrying an injury or anything like that, but I thought it was just a disgusting performance, even from the body language.
Body language from the whole team tonight. Well,
From the whole team, and I don't want to single Jezza out as well, just the whole team and in general, yeah.
Yeah, look, and I don't want to talk about this, the elephant in the room, but yeah, there's been some stuff going on at the club, and I don't know if that's had an impact on the players, but yeah, the energy, just the whole game, kicking goal. Ted Closey kicks his first goal in AFL footy, and barely anyone came up to him. It's like,
yeah,
right,
and even when Shannon Neal got that goal as well, I think it was sometime in the third quarter. No one was going. Just get around it. There's a game to be won. Support your teammates. We're coming. We're filling up the stands. We're supporting you boys. Get around them, support them, and yeah, we just weren't seeing that throughout the game as well. Maybe we are speculating a few things. What's happening outside of the club at the moment? But you could be right. You could be right, Ben. But that just doesn't excuse the performance we put up tonight. I just thought it was just not good enough. You got B or C graded players in that St Kilda side with no forward line, no Max King, no Rowan Marshall. No Dan Butler. Rowan Marshall did play. No Filippo. Somehow they're up by nearly 40 plus points. Bloody Jack Higgins having a legacy game. Other guys as well. It's the same old crap, Ben. It's like, when are we going to stop this cycle, mate? Honestly.
What's with these spud teams? Sorry, Saints fans, if you're watching, either now or on replay. But what's with these absolute spud teams having an A+ performance whenever they come up against Geelong? What is with that? What have we done apart from breaking their hearts in a grand final in 2009? Sorry, Saints fans, we'll just keep reminding you about that. But what have we done recently to them? They just want, every spud team just plays their best footy. Even Richmond's done it to us. They haven't beaten us, but North Melbourne scared us a little bit. What is going on?
It's an ongoing pattern, Ben. You are right. I do remember. I went to the game against Richmond at GMHBA last year at halftime. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? This is a team bottom of the fucking ladder. We're supposed to be up 10 bloody goals. This is a team last week that got pumped by the Adelaide Crows by about 60-ish sort of points. And the Crows played really well against Essendon today. God forbid, you mark my words, we put up a performance like that, I reckon we're going to get pumped by the Crows at Gather Round. Well, hell, we got Brisbane next week at the Gabba. We put that shit up, man. The game's going to be over in 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be negative, but that's just how I'm seeing it at the moment. Honestly, we got to break this trend, man.
I reckon you want that.
It's going to catch up to us at the end,
I reckon you want that pizza tonight, because I'm loving it. It's a negative energy, but it's called for. It is called for after a loss like that. But I reckon you've got your eye. What's your favourite pizza, by the way? I'm a bit of a Hawaiian guy. I could do the lot possibly, or Hawaiian. But yeah, I don't like the crazy stuff too much. But anyway,
I'm more of a meat. I'm a meat lovers sort of guy. So yeah, pretty basic as it is.
Beautiful. Goodness me, I had a thought. Hang on, selling 6 tickets to the Gabba next week. I'm too scared to go. Shadu, come on, Shadu. Come on, Shadu. What's going on? Well, you didn't get to go last time because didn't we get the non-tropical tornado, superstorm, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, bloody Alfred.
Come on, you got to get to this game. You got to support the Cats. It'll be, yes, they've broken our hearts. And we know, and Kerry, we know all the Cats fans watch post-game live. The Cats players, they probably don't. But if you are watching, we're upset. You guys are upset. We're just taking the piss a little bit. We're not actually that upset with it. Well, some of us in the chat might be. If you are, go your hardest. If you're a Geelong player watching, might want to switch off. Don't do yourself any damage listening to this. Look, we've got Brisbane next week, mate. Or I don't know. Following that, is it the Gathering game?
It's Melbourne at GMHBA. So
that's a win. That's a win.
We should win that one, but I'm telling you, the Crows at Adelaide Oval. That's no easy task. I assure you, Ben. Like, you know, every time at the Adelaide Oval, they're a different gravy over there, man. Like, and at the Gather Round too. You're going to get all the fans, all of different clubs. Of course, they're going to barrack against Geelong as well. But you know, I don't know, man. The Crows could be 5-0. They've got North Melbourne and Gold Coast next. Like,
don't you say a bad
I'm
word
worried
about
about them. Seriously, I think
Paul won't like that.
The Brisbane game, I'm penciling in as a loss. Honestly, even if we won this game tonight, I think reigning premiers at the Gabba. But yeah, I think the Crows game. I don't know.
How good would it be to shut them up, though? How good would it be if you're there? I don't know what do you normally sit somewhere? Is there a place you normally sit?
No, I'm in the cheer squad normally behind the goals, but
so you
I don't know where I'm sitting. It's definitely not the goals.
Do you know what you need to do, Kerry? You know what you need to do? I'll tell you right now. Take yourself out of the safety of the cheer squad and just plonk yourself. Find the bunch of most rabid, nuffy Adelaide supporters that just look like they've just got out of jail and just plonk yourself right in the middle there and just be yap the whole game. And just, maybe just take a little bit of footage and we'll play it on the show later. That'd be great. Just have a crack, mate. Put yourself out there every now and then. Have a go. That'll be nice. Ross Lyon's probably thinking, how don't Geelong finish last every year? They're easy. Thanks, Ruski. Yeah. Rossi's just having a laugh. This is easy at Marvel Stadium.
Chris Scott's kryptonite, mate. I'm telling you, outside of bloody Clarko and Damien Hardwick, bloody Ross Lyon. How is he every time? How does he do it? How does he bloody do it? Mate. The worst tactician in football, and somehow he always outcoaches Scotty.
How?
Don't get it.
What is with that? Wasn't Chris Scott his assistant coach at one point, or have I got at Fremantle years ago, or maybe I've got that slightly off?
Probably off. Yeah. I know Scotty was an assistant at Freo, but I think that was Mark Harvey before Ross Lyon came to Freo. Yeah.
Yep. Not Damien Drum.
No.
About 30 years. I get a lot of new people in the chat tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Or hopefully you've been watching for a while, but if you're not, that's great. We've got I think it's about 241 eyeballs times 2 as well watching this, probably on Twitter and YouTube. If you want to go in, if you want to win a pizza though, maybe I'm just throwing a new condition in there, Kira. You might have to hit that subscribe button. Tell you what do you reckon? And a Nomad Hunter, I've got it on the screen. I'll pin this on the screen. Oshane Mullen had 0 kicks and a few ineffective handballs. He doesn't deserve a game next week, particularly against Brisbane. They've got a few gun small forwards though.
They do. And bloody Charlie Cameron. I don't think Kai Loman's playing. But it's that midfield as well. And I seriously hope Bailey Smith is fresh and ready to go. I'd keep Ted closely in the side. I thought he was fantastic tonight. Took his opportunity, and no way you could drop him. I'll probably drop Jack Bowes. He had about 6 disposals in about 3/4 time. If there's the one to make a sacrifice, it'd probably be Jack Bowes, to be honest. But yeah, get close here, get short. Sean Matter Yeah, this is the headache at the moment because see how short manner goes at the VFL side tomorrow. But Ted Closey, I'd definitely give him a game next week.
Here's Jack Bose's stats: 10 touches. Probably want him to get 18 to 20, maybe. That's probably what we expect from someone like him. But if you're not going to get a lot of touches, maybe you want to tackle a little bit more. Four tackles.
Like what do you do? So, like if you're second to the ball, you got to tackle, man. Where was that forward half pressure from the game against Fremantle last week? And when we had the ball, you had about like 20 bloody Saints players all over the shop, like just polar opposites. I don't get it. And, look, full credit to the Saints. They did their homework and all of that. Like, yeah, they won by about 7 points. They're probably kicking themselves. It could have been a lot more, but the game was lost at half time. We put ourselves in this position, like not good enough. It's simply not good enough.
Yeah, it's rubbish, but we'll win. No, you're writing us off next weekend, Brizzy. I know you are, and that's fine.
And I'm happy to egg my face if we win.
Do you know what? I'll hold you to that. I want you to go get an egg. No, I won't say I put it outside for the week. I wanted to stink it up as much as you can. No, I want you to egg yourself on live on camera if next week, if the Cats beat Brizzy, will you do it for the do it for the fans, do it for the chat. If you want Kiri to do it, I want to see some hashtag egg in the chat. Everyone is just joining. Like, what's this hashtag egg bullshit? I want Kiri to smash an egg over it. I know they're expensive at the moment. I don't know what the situation is at your local supermarket.
Bloody, my mum's not going to be happy, that's for sure.
I'll reimburse you. Tell your mum I'll reimburse you. I'll get some bubble wrap and I'll send an egg through the post to SA. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm seeing some eggs in the chat. Brendan's getting on the egg train. An egg for every point we win by. Oh, an egg for every point we win. How about an egg for every goal we win by? You could be doused in eggs.
Yeah, that'll be all the eggs in fucking Adelaide the way it's going.
Here's one. If I'll do it as well, all right? So I'll have an egg out as well, just so it's fair. If the Cats get up against Brisbane next week, we'll go bang, bang on the count of three, smash. And you can't fuck me over either. You can't go, oh, no, I didn't do it. You got to do it, all right? So and tell your mum it's all good. I've got her egg. It's coming in the mail. I know they're expensive.
The human omelette. I saw a Brenton on the chat. Bloody hell.
The human omelette, says Brendan. Hello, Vela family. Yeah, very good. We don't have. Oh, hang on, Terry. We're talking about eggs here. You're too serious for us. We don't have much to come next week. We'll see how the VFL go. But Stewart is a big loss. We've coped with that Stewart
100%.
before.
I mean, we've go on a winning streak before, but we've lost that luxury of having him in the midfield as well. Like, yeah. Gee whiz, yeah, that's going to be a huge hole to get. But I'll tell you what though, I thought Jai Clark was impressive tonight. I thought he took his opportunity. At times, there was one point I think he kicked it to Shannon Neal inside the forward 50, and then I was like, yeah, that's good. He's taken his opportunity. I was really pleased that he was going to get the full game tonight. And I hope he keeps up the good work as well. So, good on Jai. And Connor O'Sullivan as well. I thought he was good. He got the game going as well. Mitch Devitt was all right too. Lawson Humphreys doing Lawson Humphreys things. I mean, slipped on the middle of the ground. But other than that, I thought he was really good.
we didn't touch on that, did we? Slipped in the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
It's a bit unlike Lawson to do something like that, but that hurts. Freaking hurts. Because he normally doesn't do anything wrong. He's copping a lot more attention these days. So you remember when he first maybe 10 games he played. His disposal efficiency was off the charts, Lawson. But I think it'd probably start to come down a little bit now. Teams will put a lot more.
I think it was at 67% tonight. So But, look, like I've said this in the preseason game as well, Lawson can take 5 steps back and he could still be amazing. Like, always takes it on, always calm and composed. He's going to be a great player for us. So, I think he's going to be all right. I thought he was really good.
Did I get you 3, 2, 1s yet? Have you already done that, or have I been off in Fairyland?
No, not yet. So 3 votes. This might be a surprise to you, but I'm going to give to Tom Atkins. I thought he absolutely worked his backside off tonight. I mean, look, the stats may not show it, but from the eye, I thought he was brilliant. The 11 tackles, he always gives it more than 100%. Just playing that Joel Selwood role really well. When the going gets tough, other players are dropping off, but he's always there. I thought it was a leadership sort of performance from Atkins. Number 2, I will give to Patrick Dangerfield.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the fourth quarter, he was really good. It took, and I don't want to criticise Chris Scott, but it took Scotty nearly a whole quarter to realise that when we put Danger in the middle of the ground, we win a clearance. It just makes a bloody difference. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? I understand you want to preserve him, wrap him
Yep.
in the cotton wool in the forward pocket. But when the opposition is taking us out, taking us to the cleaners, put Dangerfield in there. He's going to get the job done. Like, but 1 vote I'm going to give to Ted Closey. I thought, 2 goals. I thought he was outstanding, from the young man. And like I said, he has to play next week. Absolutely has to play next week. No way he could get dropped.
I'm definitely hearing a lot of love for Tom Atkins tonight. Hearing a fair bit of love for Closey as well. I'm glad you mentioned Dangerfield. For me, best on ground, especially in that second half.
I mean, I would have. Yeah, he didn't get the 3 for me. Being out of position and all of that. But yeah, I just thought Atkins just worked hard all night. That's why I had him in 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can chuck up a poll. Actually, I'm gonna try and see if I can. Just bear with me a sec, mate, while I do this. And Ethan, I've got you in the chat there. I'll get to you very, very soon. Don't worry. But yeah, I'm just gonna, because whenever I do the roll of honor, I always get in trouble for missing someone. So who should I stick? I'm gonna pick 4 players. So I think you and I both like Dangerfield. I'm gonna say best player tonight. Anyone in the chat if you want to nominate someone, but we're gonna go with Dangerfield. Should we put Atkins in there? Because I think you're pretty keen on Atkins as well.
Absolutely.
I don't think we'll put Bose in there. I think other people might not be too happy about that. Can we get Lawson Humphreys in there? I think we should get Lawson Humphreys in there.
Yeah,
surely.
yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, he's pretty stitched up. No, get him in there.
I got one more name. Who was decent for most of the night? Ted Close. I want to put Ted Close in there before. Yeah. All right. I'm going to get Ted. I've got a lot of young guys. 2 old blokes. Well, Danger, the old one. Ted Closey. All right. I'm starting the poll. Come at me if I've missed anyone. I've probably missed O'Sullivan. Sorry, Ethan. You can have a go at me in a sec. All right. Let me know what you think. Can I vote myself? I'm not allowed to vote myself. That's bullshit. Come on, YouTube. What's happening with that? Let me have a vote. You're welcome to have a vote, Kiri. Mate, you're always awesome. And the chat, show Kiri some love. He's the Greek Adonis. He's awesome. We love him. And make sure you're back here next week when the Cats beat Brisbane, because we're going to smash an egg on our head.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I hope your mum's not watching this because she won't be too pleased, and she'll probably.
She's watching other TV at the moment. So yeah.
Have you been banished to the garage tonight? Is that where?
Yeah. This is where I normally watch Geelong. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, mate. Appreciate it as always. Let me get rid of that one. How do I hide current comment? Beautiful. Thank you again for coming on. And hopefully, we'll see you with a bit of an egg party next week. Can't miss that one.
The time will tell. But bloody hell, from the opening bounce. Let's fucking be ruthless. Let's, country roads. Nah, on the speakers at the Gabba, it's going to be "We are Geelong, the greatest team of all." Come on,
Yep.
Catters. Let's bounce back. All right, come on.
Go Cats. Good on you, mate. All right. Now he's been waiting. He's been waiting so long, and I don't know what the time is over there. It's probably early in the morning, but we do have. Hang on, let me get rid of that before I get you on, Ethan. Let me just close that one off. Here's Ethan, all the way from the States. Don't hassle the castle. Here he is. Oh, did I update? I think I might have updated your thing this week, mate. Yeah, I've just because I don't give your show enough of a plug. So
For sure.
Americans watching the footy. There you go. Make sure you check the podcast out, everyone.
Everyone can hear?
Yeah, all good.
That was really frustrating, and especially because of the upcoming schedule. Like, if we do beat Melbourne, we still need to steal like one out of next week or Gather Round or Easter Monday just to be 3-3. I mean, hopefully, we'll be able to feast on Carlton. Hopefully they're still terrible then, but that's more than a month away. Like, now you're looking at, hanging around 500 through the first half of the season before we go on a run. And I was thinking we could have really put ourselves in a good spot tonight. And instead, we set ourselves up to fail. From the start, the lack of energy was pretty appalling. And they noted it on the broadcast a few times. Like, you noticed how they all got around Keeler on his first goal and how little energy we had on Closey's goal. Like, it took until the end of the third for us to finally play with some energy. And it wasn't like, hey, Amy, by the way, it wasn't like we were getting beaten by just, Jack Steele or Nazaya. It was like Mason Wood, who I think deserves the 3 votes tonight if we're looking at, the full game. And the other one who really got us was Zach Jones in the first half. Like, really? He's like, when you make a list of all the St. Kilda players that you think are going to beat you, he's got to be, I don't think he's even top 15. And we never adjusted, like, throughout the entire first half. He would stand there behind a ruck contest waiting for a hit out, whether it was from DeConing or Marshall or whoever, and nobody picked him up. Nobody put a body on him. And that was just the most infuriating thing. There was a lack of effort and a lack of adjustments. I hope this does lead to some changes, like specifically, I'm not going to be the first or the last to jump on Jack Bowes, but 6 disposals through 3 quarters and 10 for the game does not cut it when Bailey Smith is not out there.
Not good enough. Jack Higgins, he kicked 4 goals tonight. He's another good one from the Saints, but he gets away with a lot, doesn't he? Doesn't he? I don't know.
He got away with a little. Owens got away with one pushing it back, but Owens is a damn good player. I really like Owens, and he kicked our ass most of the night. McRae was solid. It's just, look at the Bulldogs look pretty dumb for letting him go. Although they did get Matthew Kennedy out of that whole sequence, and he's done very well for them. But yeah, for the first half, Zach Jones killed us, and for the whole game it was Mason Wood, who I honestly think is a really good player, and it's frustrating after how bad they were last week. Like, they weren't going to be as bad as they were last week. Yeah, they got a couple reinforcements, not just Owens. Bringing in Keeler clearly was a shot in the arm. But like, we let Lance Collard get loose multiple times for easy goals, and we were like outnumbered everywhere for the first half. For the first really 2.5 quarters and change. And it wasn't until the end of the third where we really finally put some heat on them. And at that point, it was just, the hole was so big that there's no margin for error, for anyone to slip or for there to be a missed call. And by the way, the worst thing with umpiring so far this year, not just in this game, it was egregious last night. There's no standard for insufficient intent versus when it's just a throw-in. Yeah. And that's, like, I know, like, last night people will jump on the free kick differential being so bad in the Bulldogs game, but, like, there's no standard for what's insufficient intent and what's not. And that hurt us at one point. I did like, though, that we stayed in it, like, after after like back-to-back great plays by Jimmy Webster of all people, that we ended up getting a goal out of that. O'Sullivan did a solid job when he swung forward, and Ted Closey made his case to be in the 22. I think that's pretty obvious.
22 or 23? Do you think he comes on as a sub again, or do you think he should start?
I like him in the main 22. Maybe you drop Bose into the sub role. I'd rather just drop him completely, but and I don't really like him as a sub because he's just kind of slow. But he definitely made his case. Maybe, I would like to see Mana in the full 22 next week, assuming he gets through, because and that spark was missing at times. Like I think having Mana in there makes it also easier for Stengel and Close. I hope you noticed. I feel like I point this out every game, but when Brad Close got going, whether it was late in the second quarter or in the third or whenever, like the moment he touches the ball, it's like, oh, we're scoring here.
Yep. Yeah.
And
no. Same thing. There was there one Brad Close goal that they took away. Everyone was celebrating. Brad Close claimed it like he took a catch to win the World Cup cricket. And I'm like, Brad, you might just want to slow down a bit here. I think the other bloke might have actually flushed it off his own foot. That
would have cut it to 3. Tell you what, in that sequence though, if De Koning just like puts a block on Rowan Marshall, Ollie Henry's got a wide open mark and an easy goal. And I think that got lost in all the chaos of that play.
Yeah.
I didn't think De Koning played poorly for what it's worth. I think individually, like, I was not impressed with Mullen tonight. Whereas, like, last week, even as inconsistent as he can be, there are a couple of, like, super smooth moments where, the upside is just so good. Most of the guys who were really bad at times, other than Bose, ended up playing a good second half. Like Mark Blitzovs. First half, Blitzovs looked old and slow, and second half, he played way better. Jai Clark, I thought he started this game horribly, and he came into his own, and hopefully he's turned a corner. Dempsey, another one, quiet first half, really picked up after that. But it's just that it took us so long to adjust and dig out of that hole is what killed me. Again, that it was something so simple, like just they've got an extra man waiting behind ruck contests. Like things that I could see on TV from here.
Yeah, and you feel like we weren't reacting. I mean, I know there's a lot of pressure on coaches to make moves quicker. I know. I also appreciate sometimes they just want to let the players kind of figure things out and not necessarily have a knee-jerk reaction to losing a one-on-one contest and then, okay, well, De Koning, you're out of the ruck. You're back to being a fullback, and then we'll put you back in the ruck next week. Like I know, I appreciate that they don't necessarily want to do that, but sometimes you think, oh, I don't know, what's going on? We're not making moves quick enough, and before you know it, second quarter, halfway through, or whatever it was, we're 41 points down. And as I said off the top of the show, I did feel like Geelong we're not going to lose by 10 goals. We're going to lose by less than 20 points. And what do we get? Less than a kick at one stage, a chance to hit the lead.
I think the closest it got was 7, which was the final margin.
Yeah, yep. But we just missed some shots late there, and
we had opportunities. We had opportunities early in the second quarter to close the gap. We had opportunities in the third. That would, you can look at the set shot misses, but you could also look at a couple where the ball gets into the 450 and it's on the ground and no one can get a hand on it. And again, I think that's one of those things where like having Sean Mana totally changes that.
Here's a comment. I'm going to highlight this comment from a Nomad Hunter. The Cats' first half possessions was the lowest in the 14-year Chris Scott era. They just watched the Saints run around with the footy with no body-on-body pressure. Far too loose, no manning up. That's a stat. Yep. That's a stat.
Those numbers don't surprise me. That's what it looked like. I mean, it looked like we were outnumbered in the forward 50, in the midfield, in ruck contests, everywhere. Like, if you had told me that we miscounted and only had 17 guys on the oval, I would have believed it. That's what it looked like. or that they had a 19th like Hawthorn did the other night for a moment.
Yeah.
But
Hawthorn.
it's just, we're going to have to go out and win some games against better teams now. And it's just frustrating because this has now happened 4 years in a row against, like, I have nothing against the Saints. They're fans. I have never met a Saints fan I haven't gotten along with. Their players seem like a really good group. I'd say more than half the time, more than half, I would rather see them win than lose. You know, there are a few teams that I like more, but I'll take the Saints over a lot of teams, but it's really frustrating to just lose to them again and again in these same games. And what's funny is, like, pregame, Chris Scott had said, you know, these games against them that we've lost, it's usually been like they just killed us for like a 15-minute run. And it was a lot longer than that. That's part of what was so irritating.
Yeah. Bit of love for Ted Closey all through tonight. Everyone in the chat and a few callers.
He was
as well.
awesome.
Oh,
you know, I loved what his brother's shown for the Suns. And if we could just have, 70% of that, I'll be happy. And whether he was working on the wing or getting into the forward 50, his instincts were great. He was fast. He was aggressive. He provided a huge jolt. And again, I'd like to see him in, it's a conundrum that every team has when a sub plays well. It's like, do you keep him in the sub because he's so good in the role, or do you elevate him? But I really liked him. I think I would put him in for full next week and maybe make Duncan the sub. I don't know.
Oh, you want to bring
things people get paid to figure out, and I'm not getting paid to do this.
Chat. Let me know what you think. Do we bring Duncan back to give him an opportunity to fix what he did in the fourth quarter in the prelim? I can't. Ethan, I don't think my heart could handle that.
I get that.
It wasn't all his fault. It wasn't all his fault, but that was the moment that will stay with me for a while.
Oh no, he looked pretty washed in that. I think of other things that were good. I don't think this was Lawson Humphrey's best game. He was all right. I thought Zach Guthrie did pretty well for himself. I liked when we started isolating that one-on-one with Shannon Neal against Anthony Caminiti or Ollie Henry against Caminiti. We kept going at Caminiti, who I've always thought of as a forward, and give him credit. He made a couple of big plays, got a couple big intercepts down the stretch. But at least there we were targeting the right guy and had actually adjusted.
Can I ask you this one? This is another interesting one from Renee in the chat. With the amount of amazing recruiting we've achieved in the Geelong has achieved over the last 10 years, why can't we land a decent ruckman? And I might add, why don't we want to go after a decent ruckman? Because it doesn't even seem like we've expressed interest. I mean, are we even interested in Tom DeConning? Like, surely we'd be giving him some prime real estate in central Geelong, or maybe, what's the nicest piece of land? Maybe Batesford, probably the nicest part of land just outside of Geelong. Maybe it's a 5-minute drive.
I'm concerned that Toby Conway is getting to that status of what if he's healthy? We might be saying like 5-10 years from now, man, imagine if Toby Conway had ever been healthy, because I still have like such high hopes for Conway. But
remember when we got rid of Nathan
nice.
Vardy? He won a premiership with West Coast.
It would have been nice if we had, you think about like a Sean Darcy or something.
Yep. Yeah,
although he also can't stay on the Oval.
How many Geelong ruckmen have gone on and won premierships at other football clubs? Darcy Fort last year is just the most recent one. Shane Mumford went to Sydney, and there's probably others. We just, for whatever reason, I mean, we just cannot land a ruckman. I don't know what it is. Maybe they don't like farming. Reece Stanley, get him to the farm, Reece. Get him to the farm. I don't know.
You know who else I actually kind of liked tonight, looking at it now, was I thought Mark O'Connor was really solid. And it's funny because the last about 2 months last year, like, he was borderline unplayable. I thought he actually inserted himself into the game. He was one of the few in the first half that actually showed something. I know his final numbers weren't anything remarkable, but I liked what he showed.
He's not a thinking man's footballer or a thinking person's footballer. Sometimes I just pull my hair out at some of the decision making. But Merrick, if you're watching, you have a crack. You do have a crack. I'll give you that. And you make the best of what you've been given. It's just sometimes he frustrates me with some of the choices, and I just think, mate, you just got to sometimes do the simple things, and you've just overcomplicated it, or you've just turned the wrong way. And I'm probably too hard on him. How many games of football have I played? 0. I'm probably not qualified to talk. I'm qualified to come on a show like this, Ethan, and just talk shit for a couple of hours. But
it's just this one's frustrating. And again, it would be a lot less frustrating if the next few weeks weren't such a gauntlet.
Yeah, I know.
This might be, if it's any encouragement, it's projected to be wet in Brisbane next weekend, though it's going to rain more in the morning than during the game, according to this forecast. And last year it poured there, and Tyson Stengel was the only one who could play in those conditions at all for either team. So maybe that's something to be encouraged about. Or maybe I'll feel better if Freo looks good tomorrow. If Freo looks good tomorrow, I'll definitely feel a bit better.
Yeah. Who's Freo playing tomorrow?
Sydney. It's the last game of the round.
Oh, gee, that's a big game for both clubs, isn't it?
Yeah, a little desperation both ways. I've said many times, I hate that the last game of the round is usually some kind of stinker, and this one won't be. I'm used to, the NFL, the Sunday night game is a big one, and instead normally it's West Coast and North.
Yeah. Well, this is a good one. We've got a good one. I mean, Freo is Freo, and if you live in Victoria, Freo is probably one of those teams that most people from Victoria don't care too much about. Apologies, Druzy and the Freo faithful YouTube channel, but you're just a bit of a minnow. Win a premiership and come and talk to us. But yeah, normally it's a graveyard shift on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon twilight. It's just kind of a bit of a nothing game, especially last few years when often that's the time slot reserved for a WA side, like a West Coast or a Freo. West Coast have been terrible since COVID.
Now I like Freo. I hope they show something, but
they're due.
Man, they look bad against us 3 out of 4 quarters.
They're definitely due. Before I ask you for your 3-2-1 votes tonight, I do want to get your thoughts for all of our basketball fans on the Hoops crew. Are you watching March Madness? And if so,
yes.
Who do you think is going to win it this year?
So far, my bracket looks pretty good. The only one I've lost out of my Elite 8 is Marquette.
Yep.
And I really like New Mexico. I just thought it was a bad matchup for them. But I've just stuck with what I've said since December. I've got Auburn winning it. I have an all-SEC Final Four of Auburn, Alabama, Florida, and Tennessee. I am a Maryland fan, so I went to San Francisco, University of San Francisco, the real USF. Made the tournament 3 years ago. They're playing in the NIT right now, which is like the second tournament. But Maryland is 1 win away from playing in San Francisco next Thursday, about 20, 25 minutes for me. And if we can beat Colorado State, I will be there. And it would probably be against Florida, whose coach used to be the USF head coach. So that would be awfully cool. I definitely wouldn't mind if Florida wins it if it can't be Maryland, though.
There's some interesting schools this year. I'm used to your North Carolinas, your Dukes, Texas, and all that. I mean, I don't follow it as clearly. We're not following it as much over here, and I think you probably, if you've been to school over there, you've got your heart on your sleeve when it comes to supporting your school and how they go. Even if just it was one team. Who's that one team that's won their first ever NCAA game the other day?
McNeese State, whose coach is super dirty.
Yeah,
so I can't even enjoy them because Will Wade is their coach. He broke like every rule in the book when he was at LSU.
Yeah. Well, I do like to squeeze in a little bit of basketball chat every now and then, but we'll bring it back to the Cats. I love basketball. It's not. Everyone always asks me, "Well, have you got? Is this a show about basketball with the Hoops crew?" Like, what? No. It's because we wear the hoops around. Whatever. It's not that hard.
I will just say, if you get a chance, I'm trying to remember who they're playing, which 2 seed New Mexico's got. But watch New Mexico if you get the chance, because I love their point guard, Donovan Dent. They go, since they beat Marquette in that 7-10, they play, Michigan State, who I think is vulnerable.
Michigan State. Okay. All right. Bring it back to footy. Let's bring it back to the Cats. Give us your 3-2-1. And then I've got, I thought we'd lost him, but I've got Lucas sitting in the green room. And I can see that he's got his camera turned off, but I can sense that he's steaming right now. But let's hear, who did you like tonight? Who was your best on ground?
I guess it's got to be some mix of Dangerfield, O'Sullivan, and I guess Atkins. I guess I'd probably lean or Closey. I could go Closey, honestly. I could go just off of who provided a spark and how much that was needed. I think I'll go. God, actually, by fantasy points, Closey was second on the team, so I think I'll go O'Sullivan 1, Dangerfield 2, Closey 3, and then if we were just doing, both teams, I'd definitely give Mason Wood the 3. I know McRae will get a lot of love because he had so many disposals. He was good. I thought he was their only positive last week, but Mason Wood, hats off to you. You played great. Windhager was very good. Zach Jones would be in my votes. And I agree right now, especially without Bailey Smith, that multiple comments that are saying, we're a midfielder short. And maybe a healthy Bruin changes that, or maybe someone out of the VFL changes that. But without Smith, that definitely got exposed. And that was frustrating. And also, I don't think it's a coincidence that when Brian over here came into the room, we actually started launching our comeback. Brian Mayhew should have been in here from the start of the game. Said he left about maybe 10 minutes before opening bounce, and I think that had some consequences. So you need to be in here same time next week, which will be by the way, if you're wondering, until daylight saving time ends for you guys, it's 1:30 in the morning here. So right now it's a little before 6 a.m.
Now I feel really bad because I saw you in the green room and I was like,
it's all good. It's all good. I've got things to do. There's basketball on in a couple hours. IPL's coming on.
We'll have to get you on a bit early next time.
It's all good. If it's after a win, keep me as long as you want, and then I'll keep drinking, and then we'll be in a really good mood. If it's after a win.
If it's after a win. All right. Well, I'm cracking
after losses.
I'm cracking eggs with Kiri next week after we beat.
I promised if we had won, I would have eaten a raw potato on this stream. I did that once for a baseball game years ago.
Oh, raw potatoes. Spud watch. We'll have to do that. We'll have to bring that one back again. Yeah. I'm going to have to remember. If I forget, I'm going to have to pause the show and run back inside and grab an egg if I forget next week.
Anytime we go down 40, it'll be potato territory. I'd rather just not go down 40. I'd rather just pound teams. But if we come out that flat, we could be down 40 to anybody. We could be down 40 to like the Northern Bowl Ants.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I'd love to win. I want to win by 100 this year at some point. It doesn't happen very often, but
yeah. And I'd love to do it against not just like a bottom squad that you'd feel bad for.
Can we do it against Hawthorn? Wouldn't that be nice?
Although I will say this, I'm just setting myself up for this. The last 3 premiers, maybe 4, have all lost to Hawthorn. So
there you go.
It's like the moment the Ravens beat the Commanders, it's like, well, that's it. We can't win the Super Bowl. To win the Super Bowl, you have to lose to the Commanders. Eagles did.
Geelong lost to Port Adelaide in 2007, and the rest is history. Lost to St Kilda in 2009. The rest is history. Yes, we beat St Kilda in 2009. Hello, Saints fans watching, if you are watching. All right, let's get Lucas on. I appreciate you coming on again, Ethan. It's always fun having a chat. You are one of the favourites, and narrowly lost out to Bianca last year for the 2024 Fan of the Year
That's no contest.
you are in the running again this year, as always, and I'm sure you'll give it a good shake. But
all right,
enjoy.
See you in a week.
Enjoy your week, and we'll see you next time. Take care. All right. He is absolutely smoking with rage. I can tell he's angry. He can't even sit still. It's mate, it's Lucas. Coming off a Cats loss, and then a narrow Cats loss, a horrible night for the Geelong Football Club. We've saved him to the end. Here he is. Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome to Lucas's Play School. This is Jezza. He's a dinosaur, and soon to be extinct if he ever plays like that again. What an absolute embarrassment. And he's still got a little bit of bite left in him, but we did not see it this game. Just an absolute embarrassing performance. Saw it coming. I warned you last week about it. I warned you last week. You can't complain over a 77-point loss. I warned you. This was always going to come. So, I had the scarf on. I threw the scarf on the ground near the bin. Didn't throw it in the bin, but it was sure. Lucky my aim was shit because it was going there. Just an absolute embarrassment. We won't beat Brisbane. We won't beat Adelaide. We won't beat Hawthorn. Kidding yourselves. Absolute kidding yourselves. And I don't want to hear any Bailey Smith bullshit excuses. That's just bullshit. Where was the fucking fight? Where was the fight today? No fight whatsoever. First quarter, they just completely... It was over at halftime, really. Effectively, it was over at halftime. We fought back, which was nice, but damage was done. I remember Chris Scott saying, "You know what? I dream of an envision where we see a Tom Stewart, Patrick Dangerfield, and a Never in the centre bounce." All right, let's take out Tom Stewart. Got injured. You know how many times I saw Dangerfield and Never in the centre bounce this game? 0. Do you know how many times I saw those 3 in the centre bounce last week? 0. So what the fuck bullshit are you spewing, mate? Why say things you're not going to do? You had an opportunity to put Never and Dangerfield together, as you said, and you didn't do it. Why did you take so long to put Dangerfield in the midfield? He's the only one fucking out there putting in heart, putting in a soul. That is just bullshit. So, I'm not there to put the line through the season, but I don't see us beating Brisbane. I don't see us beating the Crows because they've improved a hell of a lot. And I don't see us beating Hawthorn, who are the benchmark, and they'll probably slap us. They'll probably give us an absolute hiding. The effort today, every time the ball got to the ground, we were embarrassing. We were slow, we were off, we were thumbly. It was just absolute pathetic. You want to play like that against Brisbane? You want to play like that against Hawthorn? You want to play like that against Crows and gather round? So be it. Get belted by 100 points because that's what's going to happen. So St. Kilda, this, in fairness to Ross the boss, every fucking time he comes up against Geelong, they play attacking football that we don't even see for the rest of the year from St. Kilda. So I'll give him credit there. So St. Kilda fans, if you're out there, you might as well sack him right now and then bring him back next year in 2026 when they play Geelong because that's the only good game he's going to win. So just absolute embarrassment. And that's what they do to us. Last year was embarrassing. The year before that was embarrassing. And this year was embarrassing. What can you say?
Well, what can you say? I don't know. I don't think you can say anything. Mate, the energy. I've hyped you up and you've brought it. And I can. It's almost as like you want to win the pizza 2 weeks in a row. You won't. You're not going to win it 2 weeks in a row because that's not the show I'm kind of running here. But it was a tough night for the Cats, and you're right. They've got to have a bloody good hard look at themselves. Wasn't good enough. If anyone's associated with the club or any of the players think, yeah, that's fine. It's just an off night. No big deal. It could be the difference between a top 4 or even a top 8. Like we're just a middling team at the moment. We're 1-1, just like the Saints are. You had to looked at the two clubs last week. You think, oh, Cats are probably a premiership chance. Saints could finish bottom 4. Hello, Sozzy, who's just jumped into the green room from St Kilda, who's about to come and have a good laugh at us in a minute.
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear any from idiot St Kilda fans. I've had enough of them. I've had enough of the roster boss. He can only coach one good game of the year, and it's always against fucking Geelong. So I don't want to hear any wanker St Kilda supporters coming on and giving it all the biggie. We know that already. If your club was decent, you'd actually win a premiership before the time was black and white like you last did. But anyway, so look. And you're right. Last year we lost to St Kilda. It cost us a home qualifying final, and it could do the same because we've got a very tough 3 weeks ahead, as I just said, very tough. And to even win one of those would be a miracle. It like maybe Crows, but look how they're improving. So just absolutely just. Disgusting performance, dreadful. I would give a best 3-2-1, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you a worst 1-2-3.
Wow.
The worst play of the night was Shannon Neal. Couldn't mark an absolute. Couldn't mark a beach ball. Couldn't mark an beach ball.
For anyone who's watching overseas, if anyone who's watching this show and I know there's a few that watch from overseas, and I'm sure you know what a beach ball is. It's those little inflatable things that you see at beach and people whack it around. Well, we have a game of cricket in Australia. We play cricket, and every what is it? Not Anzac Day, Boxing Day. Thousands of beach balls getting thrown around at the MCG. I said tonight on Twitter, he couldn't catch a beach ball. I don't know what was going on. He dropped chest marks. He dropped marks top of the goal square. What the hell was going on? And I love Shannon Neal, and I think he's going to be an absolute ripper for the Geelong Football Club. Apart from that 55-metre goal, which was absolutely chef's kiss in the last quarter there, oh, God, he was rubbish. Sorry, Shannon, but anyway.
It seems to me he can actually, when it's outside 50, he actually grabs them. So I don't know what's going on there. As soon as he goes inside 50, he's allergic to marking him. The second worst player, O'Connor, did absolutely nothing for me. And the third worst player, Jezza Cameron, pathetic. Again, I've mentioned this so many times. When he goes off the boil, he's hardly sighted. He's our best player, arguably our best player. And when he goes off the boil like that, you got no chance. And I don't know why Chris Scott won't throw him in the midfield. I thought there was a perfect time tonight. He did push up the wing, but that's not the midfield. That's not the centre bounce. He had a perfect opportunity to at least put him either in the centre bounces or the ruck to get at least get him the feel of the ball, because he was fumbly like the rest of them. Cameron, he was absolutely horrible. And Chris Scott missed that mark. So I'm sick of St Kilda. I'm sick of Marvel, shit stadium, shit club, shit fans, shit umpires, shit AFL. So just a shit night. But Geelong, our fans turned up. But you know what? I don't want to fucking do this. This is just bullshit. The worst night ever, and I'm off. See you later.
Okay, see you, mate. That was good. All right. Now, next we've got Sozzy. Sometimes now Geelong people don't leave. Let's hear from the other side of the fence. It's we've got Sozzy from the white and red. Sorry, I probably got that wrong, Sozzy. But welcome to Postgame Live.
Hey, so it's red, white, and black chat. My voice is a little bit cooked because we won. I like to have a message to Lucas. Thanks for calling me a wanker. I like to think I'm not a wanker. That fourth quarter, I swear I nearly had a heart attack. That was intense. I'd also like to shout out Tyson Stengel. You make me want to die. And Sam de Koning. Why don't you want to come to St Kilda?
No one wants to go to St Kilda.
I know.
No, you were just an embarrassment. No, you were fantastic tonight. This is St Kilda Football Club, and and I don't know what it is, but we've kind of got a rivalry, but we kind of don't. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah, like I feel like it's only at Marvel though. Once we're at
Yeah.
GMHBA, shit the bed every time.
give it to us.
Yeah, and
We're gonna
once we're
handshake
at
deal
Marvel,
with-
like it doesn't matter where you guys are on the ladder. We're like, no, this is our premiership. We need this 2009 redemption.
Exactly. Let it go. Just let it go. Just
No,
like,
we-
just like
like,
I've let
We really
2008
hold
go.
those grudges for as long as we can.
Because I've totally forgiven Hawthorn for 2008. So you should forgive the Cats for breaking your heart there. And
Look, we don't win flags. We had 2 chances, and we lost it. So all we have now is to beat you and beat Collingwood, and that's what we try to do.
And are we going to give Ross 2 more years now? Another 2 more years? Like, where are we at with our thoughts on the coach? Because does that? I assume that changes from week to week with St Kilda fans. Is that right?
Look, Ross Ball, I was all about our defensive footy. I loved Ross Ball. This year, we've just thrown that out the fucking fence at the door. Rubbish. Sorry. And Ross Ball is dead. I don't know where we nearly kicked 100 points. Like, we don't have a forward line. Where are we kicking goals from? This is your grand final. St Kilda, enjoy. Thank you. I really feel it. I am feeling.
We use that forever, and just as Hawthorn use it on us forever. It doesn't matter. Cats need to play Hawthorn in a grand final, just like you need to beat us in a grand final.
Didn't you play Hawthorn like 3 times? I just remember from my childhood, just so many. It was always Geelong.
Not well. We did beat them in 1963. That's what I'm hanging on to.
Yeah, okay.
But they beat us in '89. That's probably the one you're thinking about. And then we played them again in 2008. And after we pretty much lost 1 game that year. And yeah, just like your mob were pretty good in 2009, and you came up against a better team. Came up against a better team on the day. But
well, I hope you enjoyed tonight, because personally, I'm going to hold on to this for the rest of the year. Bottom 4 Saints, beat Geelong. I hope you haven't lost all your viewers. I'm very sorry.
No. Our viewers are pretty good. Okay, like last time Jake from Saints TV came on, they were giving him all kinds of shit. And Jake's pretty good. He's a good guy. But we didn't take to having an opposition fan on. I'm sure there's people in the chat. Not too many have dropped out. I'm just looking at the numbers in the live show at the moment. They're still with us.
Yeah.
And a lot of commitment this time of night. What time? It's 12 o'clock. Well done. But yeah, a bit of love for Mason Wood. Bit of love for Higo. He was good.
Yeah,
bit of a cheat, but that's all right. He's a good guy though.
Look, you have your Tyson Stengel. We have our Jack Higgins. God, I feel like the difference between this year and the last couple of years is you had Tomahawk and Jezza, and we would just have Dougal Howard and Cal Wilkie like backing them up. This year, obviously no Tomahawk and we have no Dougal Howard. But somehow, I don't know where our defense came. I don't know where your forward line went, but it was a good game. It was actually, look, if you kicked like the last goal opportunities, like in that 4th quarter, I think we kicked maybe 1 point. If you did get up, you would have thought it was a good game.
Oh, I was saying that earlier in the chat. I was saying, like, and I don't know what you're like as a Saints supporter when your team loses. You probably want to drop everyone the next week. And as I said, Ross Lyon's gone. We're the same. Like, we lose tonight. Well, we win tonight by a kick, and every player gets another acreage of farmland in Geelong. And Chris Scott gets another 10 years. But if you lose, it's the opposite. It's like, retire Mitch Duncan. Didn't even play tonight, but retire Mitch Duncan and all this other stuff. And it's like, Bailey Smith's not the answer. He's no good. He can't get fit. It's funny that, isn't it? We're fickle supporters, AFL supporters generally. Geelong, I would say probably especially, considering all the success we've had. We still can't handle losing a game or 2 here or there.
As a Saints fan, I just want to say you guys are so annoying. Like, you have everything. You have the flags. You have the money. You have the cool players. You have the cool stadium. And it's just never enough. And then there's us, bottom of the barrel, just trying to scrape up wins. And it just, this is why we need wins.
You'll get there. You'll get there. You just need a bit of surf coast. What have you've got the what's the St Kilda beach? That's all right, I suppose. It's probably not Torquay, but
yeah, we got our one flag. We got I don't know. Got shit flying around.
No, you've got a proud football club, and credit to the Saints supporters. You turn up. You bloody well turn up year after year after year. Especially during that 10 or 15 years ago when, again, sorry to keep rubbing in, but yeah, I would have been heartbroken too in 2009, but I would have been Devo, absolutely Devo. The bounce of the ball, the Stephen Milne one, that probably hurts even more because it was there for the taking, and it was due. It was your time. Goddard flying high, top of the goal square. It was written. It was written, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. And we know what happened the week after.
Yeah. So now we're in a rebuild. Maybe we'll be up and about in 2 or 3 years. Right now, this is it. This is it. We got to win, and I'm pretty happy. Like, we have Tigers next week, and that is like this game. Come on board, Saints Lady. Thanks.
Kilda always beat us when they always beat us at Marvel. 4 in a row at Marvel.
Yeah, since 2022, 21.
Oh, goodness.
I was looking at it before, and the AFL app only went back to 22, and I was like, yeah, that's it. Perfect. That's 3-4 years.
We've got a handshake deal, clearly, that we let you win at Marvel and you'll let us win at Kardinia Park.
And it will be disgusting, that game. It won't be close. It will be a blowout. We don't like it there. Too far of it. Maybe that's why you guys don't like Marvel. Too far of a drive, you know?
Well, we catch the train to Marvel. Most Geelong people catch the train because it's just literally, it's not the train setup in Geelong's not ideal. We've got one line that goes through the guts and that's it. And I don't know if you can get a park at a train station, that's great. But yeah, normally we just drive up. Well, I don't drive up there because it's too hard to find a park and too hard to get out of the Docklands afterwards. So it's better to probably catch a train up there. Do you know what? I've never, you said this a few minutes ago, I've never heard anyone say that Geelong's got an awesome stadium. Everyone just calls it this boutique piece of crap.
It really is. It has no phone reception. When I went there last year, round 1. Terrible. Like I couldn't tell anyone anything.
I don't know what you got to do. I see some people on the phone. I'm like, who do you got to talk to get a signal at Geelong? I don't know what it is. If anyone does get signal at the Geelong Football Club, let us know in the chat what the provider, what kind of telecom. Geez,
yeah, do you guys have like a secret Wi-Fi password up there that you don't let anyone else in?
We just need to. What we need to do is we need to figure out someone at the footy club who knows what the Wi-Fi password is, and we'll just sneak that in the chat. If you subscribe to the channel, we might share it.
Talk footy and not enjoy the moment.
Now, I'm going to check out your channel because I do like to check out the Oppo channels. I'm a bit of a sicko. I kind of put myself through the pain, like I was talking about before. We lost the 08 grand final to Hawthorn, and I went and bought the DVD just so I could put myself through it all. What is it? Yep. It's like I like getting whipped or something. It's weird. It's a strange thing. But I will check out your channel. So do you want to give it a little plug? And there will probably be some Geelong people out there like me as well. There might be some Geelong people that just don't want to watch football for the rest of the weekend, but give it a shout out.
Yep. So I'm on Red, White and Black Chat on Instagram, and we have a podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, all that. We don't have a YouTube. We have a TikTok. If you want to check out my Instagram, I start fights with Collingwood fans. I've been starting fights with Adelaide fans. I didn't start a fight here, so I guess we're on good terms. So that's positive.
Not yet.
But if you want to see me fight people, just blonde lady here to fight. Check me out.
I might have to send you something, and we'll see how we go. I'm still in a shitty mood. It's 12 past, 10 past. I might have to do it in the morning, but yeah. Now, look, I appreciate you coming on. It is much easier to come on after a win. Would you have come on after a loss? Be honest. Would you
Absolutely.
have come on?
So I am obsessed with Dan Does Footy. I love his melts, and I am so ready to get my melt on, but fortunately it's not this week.
Oh, dear.
Did I miss that in here, or was that Lucas? It was Lucas. Melt pot.
Lucas. We usually save Lucas to the end because
Yep.
he gets a little hot. Even when the Cats have a win, it's like we probably need to win by 100 for Lucas to give it the nod of approval.
Yep.
But we love him. He's not everyone's cup of tea. He's not.
No, it's funny until he called me a wanker, but like I'll just hold on to that in my heart.
He's not everyone's cup of tea, but neither I'm sure you and I aren't other people's cup of tea either. But that's okay. We're all different types. Look, I'll let you go. I really appreciate you stopping in and saying hi, though.
Thank you for letting me in. Like
anytime. Hopefully, we'll play you again later in the year. Hopefully, it's a different result at Virginia Park. We might have a couple of tickets for you if Geelong fans save a few. Normally, we like to fill the place up, but last time, I think it was round 1 when we debuted the Joel Selwood stand. You guys had maybe 10,000 there. I couldn't believe it. What is this? What's going on?
Yes, and that was when I discovered that you guys don't have internet. But you know, if that's changed, hit me up, let me know, and I'll be down there.
All right, we will let you know. I doubt it. They did promise us there'd be some improvements this year, but I think it's actually gotten worse. So,
great.
Sack the IT person. I don't know, or sack whoever it is. I'm hearing in the comments, give her the Shannon Pizza prize. I can't. I want to be nice, but I'm not that nice. We have a little prize where we give out a free large pizza to the best caller or best comment. Either moment's very generous, but because you support another football club, that's not going to happen. So apologies for that.
That's fine. I'll find my own pizza.
But it's good pizza, though. If you're in Geelong, check out Shannon Pizza. They do make a very good pizza.
That's fine. I can't go to Geelong because, no Wi-Fi.
Well, there is in other parts of Geelong, but maybe. Thanks for coming on. You have a good night. Enjoy it. Watch the replay tomorrow if you get a chance. And
I'm going to chuck it on now and have some beers. Let's go.
All right. I don't want to hear about it. I want to talk. I have to come on. I didn't want to come on this show either, but that's kind of a promise I make to people that watch the channel.
You're doing well.
Anyway, enjoy the evening.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Go Pats. See ya. All right. Let's finish the show with a few comments. Saints TV. Hang on. I'm going to say, can I vote Jack Macrae as best player? No, you cannot vote Jack Macrae as best player. This is a Geelong channel. Jake from Saints TV. Cats TV. Maybe that's another one. I think there is another Cats TV out there, possibly. Jake, I'll keep the link open if you do want to jump in too. He's jumped in. Oh God, here we go. Here he is. I don't have a special thing for you, Jake, but here he is. Jake, I normally like to have a little special. I'm going to give you not that you are a debutante, but I'll give you the little the debutante thing, debut. Show some love for Jake. You probably won't get any love in the chat, Jake, but
I never do. It's fine.
All right, Oppo fan, tell us what you thought of the Saints tonight. And if you want to maybe say a couple of things about the Cats, our fans would probably like that too.
Yep. I didn't think the Cats were out of the game at any point. I expected the fight back. That wasn't a surprise at all. It was terrifying to witness, and it's really annoying. But we lifted. We played the way we played the back end of last year, and it might come as a surprise to a lot of people, but yeah, I was really proud of the boys. We needed to play with that sort of endeavour. We certainly didn't last week, and that was as poor as I've seen us play, and Adelaide looked like a pretty good team. I think if anything, it's proof that it's it's 2 games into the season and people are already jumping the gun and across the competition, not just with St Kilda, but we don't know the form of these teams. We don't know how good teams are right now. So I think a lot of Sainers jumped the gun a bit last week, and it was nice to kind of, I guess, get that tick of approval again that, yeah, we're on the right track. We're going to have those games like last week, but we're going to have games like tonight where we play, I thought, 3.5 of some of the best football we've played in a long time, especially that first quarter and a half. We looked absolutely relentless. And, and it wasn't just some of our better players. It was Zach Jones turning back the clock and playing a phenomenal game. Jack Macrae, he is probably our best midfielder, but he was fantastic. Hunter Clark. And a forward line that was very makeshift. Isaac Keeler, Mitch Owens coming back for his first game after injury. So, yeah, I was absolutely over the moon with that performance. And they pull you back in, mate. They pull you back in. They give you last week, and then they pull you back in. And then to have Richmond next week, it's weird to think we might actually be 2-1 after 3. Like,
oh, don't write off.
I'm not going to I know.
The Blue Abroad team didn't just write off. Didn't show any respect to Richmond.
No, I was saying to my mate driving home, I'm like, you know what? Thank you, Carlton, for warning the competition that if you do take Richmond lightly, you're going to lose. You know, it's almost like I'm glad that happened already, because if it didn't happen yet, you'd be thinking, okay, which week is Richmond going to do it? But they've done it. Port didn't take them lightly today, smashed them. Now it's our turn to go in and kind of, follow suit. But look, it's weird. We played Geelong so well at Marvel now. I don't get it, man. Like,
did you tip?
What is it? What is?
Did you
I
tip
didn't. No, I did tip the Saints. Yeah, I did tip the Saints. But this is 4 in a row now.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's odd to have the upper hand, at least at Marvel now. And it's weird. The games all feel kind of the same. I don't know from your perspective if it feels the same, the way you've lost to St Kilda, but it feels like we're winning in a similar way each time. It
feels like you're playing your 2009 grand final all over again, but you've just come out the following day. You've come out on Sunday after being pissed off on the Saturday, losing the granny to us, and you're like, we've got to get these blokes back. You need some payback, and it's just like you just can't let go. You've got to let go, Jake. You've got to let go of the pain.
You're the one bringing it up, not me. So let's just get that clear, everyone. He's brought it up, not me. But we had a bit of luck tonight, but also at the same time, Kamini touches it on the line. Nasaya saves it at the death with the toe poke. There were moments where I did have flashbacks. I think it might have been, in the middle of the ground where I think Wilkie comes up and tries to spoil, but then he doesn't impact it enough and you guys get it out the back. I don't think you kick a goal from it, but it was very reminiscent of Zach Dawson running off his man, trying to get the fist in, doesn't completely get it. And then obviously Paul Chapman kicks that goal that I never watch. But yeah, that's 100%. It's a mental attitude. We had it for the most of the game, and then it kind of went away in that last 15 minutes. We panicked. We probably overcompensated and put too many players deep, and that meant that you could create that parameter around the 50, 60-meter arc, and every time we tried to get it out, we didn't have enough representation. You'd mark it, switch it, pump it back in, and hope for the best. So that's probably the main concern, main learning curve that we'll take out of the game. But I think, you're never going to play a perfect 4 quarters against Geelong. You're always going to have your moments.
I think the Saints should be really proud. I mean, clearly the first quarter was just special. It was beautiful football from the Saints. But I particularly just want to highlight the way you responded after the halftime break, getting a quick couple of goals.
That was impressive.
Geelong was starting to give you a bit of a scare. I know Rossi looked a bit nervous in the box. And those last couple of minutes, you just held up. I just felt like one more goal. We got within a goal. We had you because you were just going to melt. I thought the boys wouldn't stand up, but they held on and they just kept it to that goal and a bit. And I thought, they've got us here. I could sort of sense it 2.5 minutes out that, I reckon they might have it. They're just the old heads were playing really well. So good on them. That's a good step forward for a lot of those guys. I don't know. It's a bit like Geelong. I'm sitting here at 1-1, just like you guys, and I just don't know what the season looks like. Are the Saints just going to go on and win the next 5 games? Is Geelong going to lose the next 5? I have no idea.
That's the beauty, isn't it?
I thought we were talking 7-0 again. We were talking 7-0, just like last year. I was like bragging about how we started this post-game live show last year, and we didn't have a loss for about 9 weeks, including the pre-season. It was great. It was happy days. And I thought maybe that was going to happen again after the big win against Fremantle, but no.
Who do you have next? Who's next?
Just the Premiers. That's all up there.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
we could. Yeah, that's going to be a test and a half.
Yeah, and Mitch Duncan's not welcome to come back for that one after giving up a dodgy handball. You're getting a bit of love in the chat, I should say. I know last time you came on, you were getting a bit of aggro last time. Some people
I feel like I came across a little cocky last time. So
no, I don't think you did.
I'm genuinely just really enjoying what we did tonight. But the Cats were very good as well. But I'm glad you did mention that 10 minutes, the first 10 of the third quarter, because you kicked a couple. Did you kick a couple late in the second? A couple of junk times.
We were coming hard. Yep.
It was kind of very much that's an attitude sort of test to see, okay, we're going to come out and try and I think we then got it to 40 points right after that. So we started really red hot, and then obviously the last quarter is the last quarter. But I kind of said pre-game to my mate, if we kick 100 points, we'll win. And we hovered on 97, 98. I'm like, just get that one more. That closes the door. We just couldn't do it. But, I mean, we luckily held out. But it was a ripper game. Like, I'm sure many neutrals were enjoying it. Not us, not the two of us, because we would have been stressing. But everyone else at home would have been enjoying it.
I was proud of, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew the Cats were going to come back, but I was proud of probably a lot of players that maybe you're not familiar with, that a lot of even Geelong supporters might not be that familiar with. A couple of guys that maybe have played less than 10 games for us, Connor O'Sullivan and Ted Closey, even a Mitch Nevitt, who's sort of starting to turn the corner for us after spending a fair bit of time in the VFL learning his craft a little bit. So I was really happy with a lot of those guys coming through. I feel like we'll be better for it next time around. I think you'll probably see a different Geelong side when we play later in the year. Hopefully we'll have some Wi-Fi or some decent reception if you're planning to make the trip down the highway for that one. But normally the reception at GMHBA is pretty rubbish.
It'll be a different St.Kilda team too. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will be.
No King, no Henry, no Filippo. I was worried about Rowe going into this, especially with SDK in good form. I was like, he struggled last week, Rowe, on one leg, and then he plays tonight. He played pretty well. I'm curious from your perspective, was there a player that you didn't really look at as a major threat and maybe he surprised and was an absolute problem, or who caused the most problems from your end that you're like, we've got to shut this guy down? Or was it just across the board where it was just an energy thing? We were just that 10%, 15% kind of more in the game for longer? From your side?
Yeah, definitely. I'll agree with that energy. You were just three blokes tackling one Geelong bloke. Like, what is going on? That was us last week, and we just went up for the fight tonight. A few comments were going around, like maybe we were a bit flat because of the hot game last week. We just were cooked, and we just didn't have anything left. I mean, it's not like we've had to travel interstate or anything like you guys. You've had one less day to prepare, and you've been on a flight. Whereas we just, we're at home and all we had to do was travel up the highway. We just couldn't do it. We just weren't switched on. A bit like Carlton, someone in the chat said, now I know how Carlton fans feel. We didn't show you guys enough respect, and that's what happens in this game. You get embarrassed if you don't respect your opponent, if you're not bringing 100% right from the bounce. And you guys did and deserved it, absolutely deserved it, and would have been absolutely robbed if we had pinched it from you there, which I felt like one more goal we would have done enough to probably just make you guys just trip over your own feet a little bit at the end there. If we just got one more, you probably would have given it to us with something silly. But
I was when Zach Jones didn't mark it, but he went for the fist and just punched it straight into the centre corridor. I was like, we are really just giving them the game now. I genuinely thought this is going to be a draw. Like, you're going to get one more point and probably kick a goal, and that's going to be it. I just kept I just had the time on my phone the whole time thinking, okay, they probably don't have enough time to win it now, but they could maybe pinch a draw. But I do agree, if we had a loss, I feel like this is one of those games where, especially where, I hate saying it, but we are a bit of we're a young team. We're going to blood some kids. We already did tonight, a couple of Collard and Keeler, two players that have had combined less than 5 games between them. If we had a loss this, I feel like that affects a lot of the rest of the season and maybe the narrative around that and maybe the belief going into it. But you get over these sort of games, and I feel like it completely changes the feeling around the club and the belief. Like, say Carlton win against Richmond, I reckon they play a bit better this week. I just think there is a domino effect. There's things that happen. There's things that move, and they're connected. And I think especially against a team like Geelong that are so respected by the comp. They're always up and about. They always fight. To beat them, I think is huge, for this team, for specific players as well in the team. They needed it.
Yeah, I mean, I know we lost Tom Stewart at one point. Did you lose someone as well through the game?
I don't know. Tom Stewart, I was very happy about Bailey Smith being out because I thought, I don't know how much you know about him, but I thought Windy would tag him, but Marcus Windhager didn't have to tag him, and he was very good tonight. Kicked 2 goals, was a bit more on the assertive. I don't know if that helped our midfield, that we could just attack a little bit more because we didn't have to worry about Bailey Smith, but you still had plenty of talent in there. But it certainly helped.
Max Holmes couldn't get his hand on it in the first quarter. And we didn't even have Bailey Smith last year, so I mean it's just a bonus really to have him. So it's just not good enough. Couple of players they're a little bit down on form. We still got we've got a lot of old guys in the team still, but we've got a hell of a lot of young guys, like really, really inexperienced guys in that side. But a lot of other teams do as well. It's like, oh my God, we're going in really, really raw compared to that prelim side that we had only 6 months ago. It's a vastly different Geelong side that we're running out there. But again, you don't probably want your best side round 2. You want to build up to that. You did ask me before some players from the Saints that kind of worry me. I hate it when we keep bombing it on top of Wilkie's head. Can we stop doing that, please? Is it bloke just takes intercept mark after intercept mark, and Sean Higgins.
Jack Higgins. Sean Higgins was good too. Good player. Jack was good. 4 goals.
Just always seems the little forwards always trouble Geelong. We've never had a ruck, and apart from Brad Otten's years ago, and we just don't really seem to have anyone that can lock down a dangerous small forward. And it's just those Achilles heels year after year after year.
What was Jezza doing in the back line? Like, I have not, like, when I saw that, and I think at one point he was next to Higo or something. I'm like, what is going on here? We're 5 goals up and they've got their best player and their best forward behind the ball. I was like, this is how you know St Kilda, like a team's on top of Geelong, because they put Jezza back.
Mate.
It was a weird game from Jezza. Did he kick a goal? Oh, he kicked it by that bullshit free kick.
A couple,
sorry,
17 touches and a couple.
Yeah.
Mate, now your channel's going gangbusters, and you're soon to be a millionaire. Now, when you get your first million from St. TV, are you going to go buy yourself a Ferrari, and are you going to run it on a dirt track? Are you going to run on a back road?
That is the most random change of topic ever, but I love it.
Jezza Cameron, he's an absolute Ferrari.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's what I'm trying. I'm making a really bad point here, but
I was ready to look up Ferraris.
Got to go the yellow one, I reckon. But now, why are we playing?
Yeah.
Can we just use Jezza?
It just felt. Yeah, like, I mean, he's such a good ball user, and he's one of those players that can play anywhere and play that role to an absolute A-grade level, but it's almost to his detriment sometimes, because sometimes you just want your best players in their best positions. But that you've done it before and it's worked. Like, you can put him in the midfield, he'll have 30 and kick 3.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have, to be honest, at some point. I don't think they put him ever. Did they put him at a centre bounce once?
I think if anything could be on a wing, probably started. I don't think he's going to bounce. Bit like, remember the days with Jonathan Brown and Buddy Franklin would start in the centre. Those, you put them anywhere. They were absolute superstars, all-time type players. They could play any position. Absolute guns of the game. Mate, I'm going to start wrapping things up. I do appreciate. I know you've got your own stuff you're doing as well. But yeah, guys, any Geelong people out there that like with Sozzy was on before, if you want to just extend the pain of a Geelong loss and you want to see what the Saints fans are thinking about it, please check out Saints TV.
My review's up already. It's already there.
Yep.
I promise it's very respectful. And I went to school in Geelong. So I went to high school in Geelong. I've got a good, strong Geelong college connection.
Yep.
So I don't know if that helps.
Club. You said it before. Say it again. You hate the Geelong Football Club. You do.
Is that a direct quote, or is that a?
I think it was. You hate. Yeah. I think I hate you guys, or something like that. I don't know. Players or the club or the fans, because there's usually, you don't have to hate.
Do they go hand in hand? Yeah, you can hate individually, can't you? You can be selective in your hate. That is possible.
I think I hate the
Um,
very essence of the Hawthorn Football Club, but yeah. No,
Yeah,
look, check out Jake's show, everyone, and maybe check out Jake on Sunrise tomorrow morning. He's a bit of a media star these days. No, did you?
I should actually I should actually ask them. Can you get me on tomorrow just so I can enjoy this win a little bit more? That'd be great.
We're still waiting on a call from our people. So Channel 7.
Come on, is Channel 7 Geelong? Is there a specific channel you can hit up? Surely you get a gig on there.
If you're looking for a YouTuber out there to talk about the Geelong Cats, here we are. We're waiting for a call. Drop us a DM. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Mate, you enjoy the win. Enjoy it, and enjoy Sunday as well. The day after, there's nothing sweeter after a win on a Sunday. Wake up, and you just feel so good in the morning when you wake up after a win. It's great.
100%. Yeah. Thanks for having me on again. I think this is a couple times now in a row, but no doubt at the end of the year I'll maybe see you in person if I go to the game. I'm sure you'll be around.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely be at the. Well, I didn't get to go tonight, but I'll definitely be at the GMHBA game if you make it to that one, and I'll pay you a visit.
Yep, 100%. And to the moment, hit the Espy. That's not a bad shout, actually.
Hit the Espy.
I've got a boost. Yeah, the Esplanade on in St Kilda.
Oh, okay.
It's near Luna Park. It's a nice little sort of bar restaurant there. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well,
deal.
We'll hit the Warn Ponds Hotel. The Ponds.
Are they? I thought they shut at 9:00.
Probably do.
Or Lammy's.
Lammy's, yeah. Everyone knows Lammy's. Everyone knows Lammy's.
Yeah, that'll be kicking off right now, I reckon.
Probably. Hello, anyone who's watching on the big screen at Lammy's. Because they put the hoop crew on at the Lammy's. They should. We should get them. We should talk to them about that.
Get a deal, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, why not? Why not put the hoops crew on anyway? Maybe not. Go on, you mate. Appreciate it.
Awesome, mate. Chat to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Guys, it's been fun. Yeah. Well, the game wasn't fun, let's be honest. It was rubbish. But it is what it is. I appreciate everyone watching tonight. I can't believe it. It's 12:30. What are you still watching for? 276 people still watching this live stream. We didn't win the game. You know we didn't win, Cats fans. You know we didn't win. I suspect, this is what I do suspect. I suspect 90% of the people are watching are Saints fans and just loving just watching us crack the shits, just get all salty, bring up references to 2009 all over again because that's all you've got to show, or got to throw at us tonight. But, yeah, it was tough. It was very tough tonight. Now, most importantly, that's not me. That's Anthony from Shannon Pizza. He's giving away a pizza. Now, you don't have to have that pizza. You can take your pick. He's got a lot of options there. Go check out the website. But I am giving away a pizza this evening to either a caller. What am I doing? Either a caller. I'm clicking buttons everywhere. Or someone in the comments. Now, I'm just gonna. I've got a couple of ideas. Lucas was really good again tonight. He was really good. Now, I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but he did bring a bit of energy. He had the hoodie on. I don't know if he was walking up and down the street. I'm sure a couple of neighbours might have called the police, but he was pretty good tonight. But I'm not going to give it to Lucas. I'm not going to give it to him. I can't do it. I did spot someone. I'm going to give it to someone in the chat, actually, tonight, who was all over the chat tonight. And I love the energy. And I don't actually know this person. I don't actually know your real name. But I'm just going to pull up one of the comments. Not my favourite comment, but just love the energy in the chat. And it is a Nomad Hunter. What's his comment? I don't think Chris Scott prepares the guys for these types of games. We're playing Hawthorn. We would have started with a different mindset, 100%. A Nomad Hunter, you have won the free large pizza from Shannon Pizza for this week on Postgame Live. So, a Nomad, if you want to get in touch with me, we've got a couple of socials. You can reach out to the Hoops Crew on Instagram. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X. That's probably the best places. Or you could probably send us an email. We do get emails now and then. The Hoops Show au@gmail.com. I can't get the name changed for some reason. Eventually, we'll get our own domain. We'll get an @hoops thing eventually, but it costs a little bit of money. We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there. We need a couple of subs. We need a few more subs. We've just got to keep building the channel a little bit more. We're still in the early days of the channel, but if we've got 280 people in the chat, that's a pretty good sign of things moving forward, especially if we win a game or two through the year. All right. So thank you, everyone in the chat. Go Time AFL, Rooski and Nomad Hunter. Amy, you're always there. Spartacus. Gee, you were close tonight, Spartacus. I wanted to give it to you as well. Jossip as well recently. Either Moment's always there as well. Moonboy, Saints. I said there's probably one of the Saints people jumping in. I'm sure you were a Saints person there. I'm sure you are a Saints person there. Chris, Ethan, of course, who came on before. If you want to jump on next time, I will always put the link for guest spots in the chat. I usually try and pin it. I think it's there. Let me know if it's not pinned for whatever reason. But I'll always pin it there, and I'll probably bring it up I'll bring up a little QR code every now and then as well, a bit like this one here. So you can just, if you're watching it on your TV, which apparently a lot of people are, which is weird. I don't know why you'd watch it on your TV. Maybe just listen to it on your phone or your tablet, or what else is there? I don't know. You watch? I don't know. But yeah, there's many different ways you can watch it. So thank you to everyone. I didn't give everyone a shout out, but massive thank you to Cyril Cook Florist. As always, they sponsor the whole Hoops Crew network, all of our shows. Now, Paul will record, if he hasn't already, he'll do his reaction to the game tonight. I don't know what kind of reaction that's going to be. I haven't really had much chats with Paul today, so I'll post game. So I'm not sure what his energy is like, but make sure you check that one out with your Weet-Bix or your pancakes or your bacon and eggs tomorrow morning. That's always a good watch. And then he'll be back. I'll be back probably next. No, he's back Sunday. He's back Sunday night as well. So he's dropping his reaction video. Then he's back Sunday night for his live show. So Paul usually goes live. Yeah, Paul, you screwed me last time, Paul, but he usually goes live at 8:30. So I pushed him to 7:30 because he said he wants it a little bit earlier. Then he couldn't do it. Family reasons, fair enough. Paul, if you're watching, I still love you. But yeah, so probably keep an eye at that one. He'll kind of talk about the game in a little bit more detail on that one. It's a live show, so it's a bit more interactive with fans. And we do kind of look at the round as a whole, so all the other games and kind of any other sort of big stories, I guess, that have dropped through the week. And there's always Nuff of the Week as well. Will this be the first time it's the Geelong Football Club that's going to be Nuff of the Week? We must be close. We've put in a stinker tonight, Cats fans. We really did. Well done, Saints fans, if you're watching. But yeah, the Cats absolutely put in a stinker tonight, and I'm not happy. I am not happy with them. But you can't win them all, can you? You cannot win them all. All right, that's me done. It's 12:30 at night. This has been going for a couple of hours now. Again, thanks to everyone. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The best way you can support the channel, other than hitting that subscribe button, seriously, the best way you can support the channel is by telling friends, family about us. Just getting the word out there. That's probably the best thing you can do. So we really want to. I'm probably coming across as like, do it for us. No, do it for the Geelong Cats fan community. We want to build this to a place. I want to be able to get to a point where there's people that are coming on the show, and I can just shut up and I'll let you guys run with it. So I want to get 50 people coming on post game live, and I actually got to tell you to shut up. I've got to tell you to shut up, and you've got 5 minutes, and then I'm cutting you off. That's the point I want to get to. So if you want to come on the show, I'd love to have you on the show. If you're a little bit nervous, that's to be expected. I've done this for a few years now. I don't even think about it, to be honest. I really don't even think about turning the camera on and talking to this little light that's on my camera here. I don't think about it. It's really not that bad. Talking in an auditorium with 3,000 people might be a little bit different. You might say a little bit nervous, Benny boy, but no, this is pretty easy. So, and if you want to turn your camera off, that's cool, no big deal. All right, I'm going to wrap the show up. As I always do, I'll play the little outro. It's a bit of an AI thing, so if you're not into it, but if you are into it, you've heard it before, by all means, hang around. If not, I'll see you the next time. Well done, Saints. But as always, go Cats. See you, everyone.
It's time for the show. Dropping pussy down facts, mixed forwards and backs. Representing G-Town while talking the smack. Clashing backs like Patty, where the hell you at? Hoops crew are exploding, don't ever look back. Then we got Paul, yeah, he knows his stuff. He's a man, he's a myth, taking on the nuffs. The man don't miss, he loves to react. His words cut deep, he's a counterattack. Balls on fire, brings the mic to life. Don't fuck with P-Dog if you value your life. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew's here and they'll never back down. Jake, Tommy, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, man, remember the names. In the studio, Jake's bringing the noise. With Johnny and Sambo, the chaps chat boys, they're electric and they're ready to roll. The boys are on fire and they're taking control. Recaps and previews, yeah, they cover it all. Part of the Hoops crew with Betty and Paul. They fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew, baby, they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Betty and Paul, chasing glory and fame. Brad with the sleeves, Max Holmes and Jack Bowes. Tommy fucking Atkins, he'll break your damn nose. Stewie in the middle, and Reese in the ruck. They see Big Jezza and they know they're fucked. They're the G-Town boys, go hard or go home. They're fucking insane, taking over the throne.